All right, what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about a tip to make your hair system last longer. Now, the worst thing that can possibly happen is you get a hair system and you have to get rid of it before you think you're going to have to get rid of it. Maybe you don't have an extra one in stock. Maybe you just didn't get enough lifespan out of it and it's costing more because you got to get one more often. There's a lot of reasons to make your hair system last longer, but often we wind up throwing out our hair systems way before they actually are officially dead, right? So today I'm going to be showing you a tip to make your hair system last longer. That way you can save money, you can keep the one you're using longer, and therefore we can go get some cookies. Guys, this video is sponsored by Levivid. Levivid makes a great product and they're offering all of my subscribers 15% off their entire order, no matter how much. Use my code Jake15. It's down below in the description if you want to copy and paste that. Let's jump back into the video. All right, guys, so we might not be able to use our hair system for as long as possible for many different reasons. One of them is because of discoloration, right? Like our hair system actually gets lighter than our natural hair because of photo bleaching, you know, when it's out in the sun, or just from using shampoos, and it actually strips some of the color out of that, right? We can use a color depositing shampoo to solve that. One of the things though that happens is our front hairline starts actually losing too much hair and therefore does not look right, especially if we're using something like poly or French lace, right? It can actually start to age the unit prematurely. It can look not as good, and therefore we might be like, you know, I rock a style where the hairline is exposed, this hair system isn't looking good anymore. Well, one of the causes of that is actually too much hair being lost from the hairline. Hair systems don't lose hair identically, they don't lose them all over at the same time, so it's not like it's getting thin all at once. Sometimes with use you get spots in your hair system that lose more hair than others. Right now, for example, this hair system that I have on right now, forgive the mess by the way, the front hairline is starting to lose just a little bit. This is natural and it's okay, but what I'm going to do today is show you how to solve that problem if you experience it and get more out of your hair system. So guys, I'm going to actually take the system off. I'm going to start doing a reinstall, but we're going to solve this problem in the middle of it. Let's go. All right, guys. So what we got right now is the base of my hair system right here. As you can see in the front, I don't know if you remember, but I did have a tear in my hair system, and this time when I was cleaning it, it actually kind of frayed, and this is what we're left with right here. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But this is a part that we're actually going to cut out just to, you know, get rid of this issue right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to be, I guess, making a custom hairline right now. The idea though is that I'm going to be cutting further back into this right here a little bit, and yeah, that will actually give me kind of like a new hairline. You know, I think that we lose a lot more hair up here in the front than we do actually when we are like in the middle of the unit, depending on how you use your hair system and how you take care of it. But you know, we run our hands through our hair up here a little bit more often, so that's prone to a little bit of more lossage. So what I'm going to do here, the first step of this right here is definitely I'm going to mark out, this is a dry erase marker that I'm using right here. And the reason I'm going to use that is that way if there's any left after I cut it, I can actually wash it away. With a Sharpie, you're not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to kind of mark like this right here, which is the front of the front, the center of the front, I should say. And then we got here, and then over here that are the sides of the front. So we need to basically connect this over into here. So guys, this is, not gonna lie, this is gonna be a little bit scary. It's gonna be a little bit weird. I might not get it perfect, but this will give me a new hairline. So here we go. All right, so there we go. Now we have this marked out. We can see I've got a shape for me to cut. Now, when you are cutting bases of a hair system, there's two ways you can go about doing it. You can either use like a straight edge razor, cut it from down below, which is nice because you don't have to deal with splitting the hair, which you're gonna actually see me do in this. Or you can use scissors and separate the hair from the top side and cut it like that. The reason that I prefer to do things from the bottom is that you don't have to worry about the razor cutting the hairs down here if you do it right. With the scissors, you gotta split, you know, the hairs, make sure that you're cutting the right hair. But anyways, for this right here, it's going to be better if we actually use some scissors. So I'm gonna go grab those. All right guys, so what we're gonna use today is actually gonna be a straight razor like so. And this is not probably the safest way to do this, if you will. The reason I'm gonna do it like this is because with a poly thin skin that's like this, it is so hard to cut with scissors. If there's not tension, it really is. So I'm gonna try to show you how to do this, but keep in mind it is kind of tough, and you got to be careful. Now I'm gonna try to not fray the front hairline, and I'm gonna try to really take care of it. But the reason that when we're doing this, we want to like keep this poly thin skin taut, not stretched, but definitely taut. So I'm gonna actually start from right here at the point that I had a rip. And the reason I'm gonna do that is just so that I can kind of get in and I can start pulling it. Okay, so now that I did this, I'm going to actually pull it like so. Now you gotta be careful when you're doing this that you are not actually cutting through the hair system itself. What do I mean by that? Well, on the other side of this, right, we have hair, and we don't want to cut these super baby short because that's not a very real look. You can cut the hairs obviously that are on the piece that you're getting rid of, but if you're trying to keep the hairs on the side of the unit that you want to keep, you got to be careful. So I'm applying very minimal amounts of pressure, going over it a couple times to basically let it cut itself, if you will. It can be a pretty stressful thing to do. This is not something I'd recommend for like a beginner to do. Not something like when you first get a hair system that you're gonna wanna be trying. Unless you're bold or unless you don't mind having, well, if you do this when you're first starting, I would say make sure you have a backup unit because there is a possibility to mess it up, right? And mess it up bad. And we don't want that for you. We want you to have a good time. But as you can see, we're kind of getting through this right now. All right, so we got this first piece completely removed. All right, there it is, guys. See, we did it. Got one piece removed. Now we're going to do the same on this other piece. So we're about halfway through now. This one we are going to start over here now. All right, so once again, I'm keeping pressure. I'm actually using my torso to apply pressure to the back of the hair system and just keeping it taut, not stretching it out. Because with these poly units especially, you can kind of distort their actual appearance or their shape. Even if you mark it, you know, as it stretches, you could think that you're cutting it the right way, but you could not. And then you could get this whole Willy Wonka shape. Now, the cool thing about using a razor like this is like, when you start to get the right sensation, when you start getting this process down, it can go very fast. You have to get like the feeling for the right pressure. That's all it is. All right, guys. So this actually is the new hairline that we have right here. Take a look. So now it should be somewhat fresh. It should be good. Now is it a little bit tattered? Like, yes. But I'm actually not worried about that. This should blend right into my natural skin. And all right, guys, so now we have this right here. I'm gonna actually put this on. Please stick around because I do wanna talk about some stuff that's really, really important about this process. All right, guys, so this is the final result right here. Don't judge the hairstyle, haven't styled it. I'm about to go get a haircut right now, which is gonna be cool. We're gonna change it up just a little bit. But here, let's zoom in, take a look and see what's going on at the hairline. So as we can see, it's just got a little bit more fullness up here. So overall, I think that this is actually something that you can go about doing and get a little bit more life out of your hair system. That being said, let's talk about something that's crucial for you if you're gonna do this. Now, this hair system, I actually ordered it to be about kind of an 1/8 to a 1/2 inch longer. I can't remember the exact, but the reason that I did that is because I wanted to get more life out of this. I wanted to try this, test it, experiment with it, and bring it back to you. What happens though when you do that is you keep the front hairline and then you push the whole thing back. So you actually wind up having some of the hair system residing on top of your natural bio hairs, which it doesn't stick that great. So if you want to do this, you want to get more hair system, you want to order your system, take the template, and then tell them to add 1/8 of an inch in length to the template. And then what you can do is you can tape further back into the unit in the back, so that way it actually sticks to your scalp. You can also, I also put some of the adhesive tape so that it overlaps onto my bio hair and just provides kind of like a superficial attachment, a secondary attachment. That way it doesn't kind of like float up or anything. And for the most part, it sticks right there. So those are the things that I do to make this work a little bit better, and you can get some more life out of your hair system. Of course, the first wear, until you cut more of the length out of it, is gonna feel like it's a little bit too big. But it's one of the side effects for getting a little bit longer usage out of your hair system. So give it a try. Let me know if you do. And once again, this is a learning experience. Nothing is perfect. We're just trying new things. Once again, thank you to LaVivid for sponsoring this video. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below, guys. We will see you soon.